What do you think? What are you thinking, man? You think Herc's gonna win?
I really don't know. I don't know the last time Herc has done fusion runs. He's been doing a lot of the Pokemon Crystal Cinco Bingo lately. So he probably hasn't had a lot of time to de-rust yet. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, unlike Pokemon, objective here is to not catch all these creatures or else you'll die. Herc, oh, having some stream issues, looks like.
No, that was just a sync.
Okay.
But just a little mess up on the climb, but no big deal. Not much time lost. And Sophia is a fairly new runner. Doing a nice little alternate strat. Since that first little climb, the wall jumps at the beginning, they're pretty tight.
Yeah, unfortunately for Sophia, they were unable to submit a PB before the deadline, so Sophia was given last seed with no PB on the leaderboard. So, being that this tournament has a few buys, Sophia is playing the top seed of the first round of the tournament, which is Hercules.
Anyways, as far as routing for this game, there's not really a whole lot of different options on what you can and cannot do. I mean, you're free to grab whatever expansions you want, but there is a list of 10 missile packs that are fairly close, not too far out of the way. A lot of them are within like a half-second difference in collecting, depending if you're going for real-time or in-game.
Yeah, so it would be really interesting to see which of the missile expansions these runners will choose. I myself have a very strange preference for missile count, but I don't think Hercules or Sophia would do the same thing I do. And in fact, I think they would probably get main deck missiles here after the first boss.
No, Herc won't. We'll just see how rusty he feels. That'll determine, if anything, he'll probably grab a 4th E-Tank. He'll probably still go with the 40 missile route and the standard missile pickups for the past forever.
Yeah, Herc is a very experienced fusion runner. He also does 0% runs, so the idea of Herc picking up 4 E-Tanks is kind of strange to me, because he should know how to avoid enemies because of his experience. And he's also been in, a few GDQs doing fusion. There was this one where he was part of a 3-way or a 4-way race where he died. A 3-way, yeah. And he died during box 2, but I'm pretty sure he's learned from his experience and probably will not be doing any dying here today.
Okay, these first 2 missile packs, these are obviously the fastest 2 to grab. They're just kind of right there. And most importantly for this very first boss coming up, we need 15 missiles to get past the first phase. And unfortunately, without that, we're not at 15. So the biggest source of RNG are these doors right here. They can shoot anywhere from 0 to 4 beams before becoming vulnerable, and it's completely RNG based. The first couple of doors, we have to hit them with 3 missiles, and then after we get our next upgrade, we can run chart every door the rest of the game.
Yeah, speaking of I-doors, like what JC mentioned, it is possible to put in 2 missiles on the same frame. Neither runner was able to get it though, and I think Sophia got better RNG of the 2. So it is still pretty close here, despite the discrepancy in PVs between the two runners.
Yeah, so basically every single beam that you see is 2 to 3 seconds. And then even the time it takes to open is RNG based. Another major strat that's going to be saving time is, Rossi alluded it with the eye doors, is we're going to try to stack as many as many doubles as we can on the cores at the same time after we defeat each boss. It's for every double that you get, that's like 5 seconds of not having to deal with iframes from the boss before you can hurt it again.
Yeah, it would definitely suck to miss doubles and then the eye door decide to give you 4 beams for each round. You know, for 12 beams, it definitely lose a lot of time there. So as you said, Herc skipping the main deck missiles where Sophia is going to pick up the main deck missile. The reason for the main deck missile here, while it is kind of out of the way, it does help newer, less experienced runners get through Sector 1 because of the intense missile management that's going on there. Definitely a good safety strat.
No, yes, like I mean, it's the slowest of the available ones, but it's only slower by, I think this one's actually a full second slower than one of the later missiles. But the general idea for Sector 1 is you don't want to get hit at all. How the refills work, the little blobs that you see flying around after killing enemies, they can either be yellow or green, and a very rare possibility being red. Yellow refills 10 energy, green refills a few missiles. If you're full on either, it is guaranteed to be the opposite of what you don't have, or a red X. So, making sure we don't get hit guarantees we get missile drops the entire time.
Yep, and then if you're full up on everything, I don't know what the odds are between yellow and green, but I think it's pretty even. But it shouldn't matter anyway, you're full on everything. So we have Herc here destroying the first stabilizer thing. Making really good time here. His movement is getting a little bit better after his kind of rusty main deck start.
So if you're not very far behind yet, so that's always good. About 5 seconds behind due to grabbing the extra missile pack earlier on. That's also one missile pack that does need to be grabbed later on. Or it can also be just a safety missile pack for later on anyways. The most common route is to use 40 missiles total. And then there's a few runners that let you do 45. It just makes some bosses a little bit, gives you a little bit extra window for error.
Wow. Sophia with a very interesting descent from the shaft. Did not get hit at all. Although it was a little bit slower, Sophia did not use any missiles and did not take any hits. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it works really nice for the ammo management. It's almost like a slightly modified task fall.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of climbing the shaft in Super Metroid.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm still pretty surprised that Sophia is still keeping the pace here, not falling back too far behind.
No double yet. One beam for Herc.
Wow, really bad RNG here for Herc.
5 beams right there, no doubles.
Sophia getting really good luck here. Oh, almost a 0 beam. 1 beam for Sophia.
1 beam, that's really nice.
Instantly catches up.
Yep. So basic strat on this boss, you get your charge beam. After grabbing this charge beam, you only have to worry about the 1 to 4 beams one time, since you can always just point blank the doors. If you notice, whenever you release a charge shot, there's this little flare that's right in front of Samus's cannon. That does some extra damage, which is fortunately just enough damage to do what you need to cut out quite a few boss fights, some cycles on boss fights.
Yeah, it's definitely OP. I don't think the developers thought that players would actually use that extra damage for boss fights. I'm pretty sure they wanted Ceres to be hard and annoying, but
they're like, there's no way players are gonna be crazy enough just to be that close to a boss.
Yeah,
they don't have to worry about this.
So all the stabilizers have been cleared out here, and they're all done with Sector 1.
I see a prediction of Herking a 7-shot Ceres, which is actually pretty hard to do.
I think you're likely to die before even getting up to 7 shots on Ceres.
Yeah, 7 shots requires you to only hit Ceres with the flare by itself. You have to literally shoot through Ceres and miss with that main beam.
Luckily, both runners here are running on Japanese, which is the faster of the two main languages for this game.
Accepted.
Japanese saves, yeah, accepted. Saves about 3 minutes RTA over English, so as a speedrunner, you want to save as much time as you can, even if it is on text. So I think that if both runners have JP, they're most likely going to choose JP of the two.
Where do I donate to kill the animals? First, you have to donate a hack that we can kill the animals in.
Yeah, I'm all for putting a power bomb in the animals' room.
Alright, so Sector 2. Casually, I'm pretty sure anyone that's played that's noticed it, enemies in Fusion do a lot of damage to you. A lot of the enemies in Sector 1 barely hurt you at all, and then we come across these Zoros, these red Zoros that do, was it 45 damage? If you run into them?
Yeah, they hit really hard. I think it is around 45. And they are everywhere. You definitely don't want to get hit by these guys.
Yep, and for the most part, if you keep your movement fairly tight, you can avoid most of them without stopping.
Yeah, as you can see, there's Sophia wisely choosing to jump over Soros instead of risking having to take a hit like that. Yeah, if you don't know how to take care of those Zoros that are in the way, it's probably the best idea to just avoid them completely.
Yeah, jumping over the enemy is about the same time loss as running into it and running back through. So, if your two options are get hit or jump over, and you can't do the last option that lets you just keep running, that's what you want to do. So, a little bit about mechanics in Fusion. So, as much as possible, we want to stay on the ground. Whenever Samus is jumping in the air, she moves right around half the speed in the air as on the ground. So we want to maximize as much ground time as possible, or in like climbing segments, we want to minimize as much falling as we can with tighter jumps and trying to avoid ledge grabs.
Oh no!
Ouch! Ouch! Ouch!
No! 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 No!
And let's see if Sophia is going to restart.
Yeah, as we mentioned, Zoro's hit really hard.
Yeah, I saw Sophia was going to go pick up that extra E-tank in Sector 1. They shot out that block going to the E-tank in Sector 1. And I grabbed that one when I first started until I started doing the single segment runs.
That's really unfortunate.
Or rather, until after I got my first single segment run in.
I really hope Sophia will continue here, because who knows, you know, Herc might also have a major disaster in his run.
Yep, I mean, we've seen it last tournament where somebody that literally learned Metroid Fusion the day before beat world record holder JRP 2234.
We're always gonna meme on JRP.
And the other thing is, like, I don't see a forfeit or a quit command from Sophia yet.
Yeah, Sophia was actually in the Discord wondering what the protocol is if you died in a race, and
then we got the restart. There we go. Awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely fine to just keep going after you died, but you still have that option to forfeit if you want, although I don't think it is the best option in any circumstance. Oh,
I was even counting the jumps.
There. Yeah, he didn't have good Sasbi RNG.
Yep, so another thing worth mentioning about every single boss fight that has these cores, there is a specific spot where you see where they have to go to pick up the ability. If you kill do the final hit at the perfect spot, or at least a perfect X position or perfect Y position, you can get what's called a quick grab on those abilities and not have to wait the 1 or 2 seconds of it bobbing around.
Alright, let's see if Herc is crazy enough to do a sack skip here. Of course he's gonna troll us.
I saw that fake out coming from a mile away.
I have no doubt that Herc is actually watching the restream. With that being said, Herc definitely knows what just happened here, and he's more likely going to take safety strats here over speed strats, unless he's gunning for like a PB or something, but I don't think he is.
Yeah, but then back on the topic of dying, like safety saving is specifically not banned at all, so it's perfectly allowed if you think that's going to be an actual possibility.
Yeah, and about halfway through the run, you're actually presented with an option to save that is not out of the way. So
it just costs a couple seconds for the dialogue to pop up, and because either way you have to refill time period animations basically.
Yeah, and you don't get that crazy long save animation like they give you in Super Metroid either. So, you know, it asks you want to save, you hit yes, and it says done. You know, instead of waiting forever to get a save off in Super. Alright, so coming up here on Sector 4, the aquarium sector, and Herc will be going towards Ceres here. Someone in the chat predicted a 7-round Ceres. We're definitely going to see here in the next few minutes whether or not Herc is polished on his boss fight strats. Meanwhile, Sophia having to run through main deck again. Unfortunately, Sophia left the turn their timer off, so it could be kind of hard to judge exactly how far behind Sophia is versus her. So far, pretty good movement here from Herc.
And that missile to the floor.
Yeah, right. Just as I say it, he messes up a small time saver strat,
Which is fine.
The interesting thing about Hercules is that Hercules does have a 46. However, it's not official, it's not recorded. So on the leaderboard, Herc is shown as having a 47 instead. And that's because every time Herc gets a 46, he's not recording anything. And it's unfortunate for him because he could have been number 1 or number 2 seed based off whatever RTA he had for his 46.
But brings us to rule number 1 of speedrunning. Always record.
Always. I don't think that first shot was clean.
We'll see pretty soon. Nope, that was good.
Oh, very nice. Very nice fight from her.
Alright, so basically, Ceres has 50 HP. Each part of the charge beam, if you ever see him shoot something, it splits into 2 parts, or hit something where it splits into 2 parts. Each of those parts do its own set of damage. The charge beam does 10 per half, basically, and then the flare does 6 damage. So without that flare, it would take 3 shots, but getting that flare in, that's 26 times 2 equals 52, and Ceres is gone.
Yep. And Monkey actually did predict correctly 7 shots on Ceres if you include the Corex, because Herc did not get a single double. 5 shots on the core and 2 shots on Ceres.
Yeah, and then that's definitely one of the trickier doubles when you still have the regular missiles. Just for that possibility, you can just fall in the water.
Yeah, and you play around with the ceiling rungs there to try and manipulate the Corex.
So the basic idea on the doubles, like as far as setting them up, is how the Corex itself moves is a bit predictable. So you just have to have specific movement patterns to lure it so it runs into 2 missiles at the exact same time. Didn't get that store off for the low height. It happens.
Yeah, no big deal. I mean, it's probably preferred that you mess up the low height that way so you don't accidentally shine spark. You know,
Don't do a wind spark.
To do a wind spark, or even getting a high height will lose you more time than just not doing it at all.
Alright, let's see if Sophia grabs that extra E-tank this time.
Maybe.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's really hard to plan for taking a lot of hits in Sector 2. So, like, if you're used to getting through Sector 2 safely, then you probably don't consider getting E-tanks, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I think it was just a...
Ouch, 3 pirates.
Oh, yeah, Sophia in danger of dying again, but I don't think... I don't think Sophia will actually die here, because they should be able to get drops.
Depending on the missile drops, the pirates could pose a problem.
Yeah, at this point though, I would probably be more concerned about staying alive than missile drops. You can always farm the frogs in the room under the eye door.
But if she runs out of missiles like right here, along the climb up, good luck getting past those pirates.
Yeah, it'd be really tough. Wow, Hercules
Nice.
getting the frame perfect trick there with the Shine Spark.
So whenever you do a run off a ledge, if you hold down the frame you land, you get to store that Shine Spark still.
Yeah, it's a frame perfect trick, and it's for any percent. I think that is the only time where that becomes useful.
I made a strat a couple years ago in Sector 5 that said about half a second RTA with another one.
Oh, is that the one with the Shine Spark going up the big
up the ladder?
Yeah, yeah. That one's pretty swag too.
And then there's also reverse ice.
I mean, no. Well, maybe somebody would do reverse ice in this tournament. I'm hoping that it will actually happen.
Cough, cough, Scotty, cough.
No, it would probably be me against a specific runner. Oh, Herc taking a lot of damage from the side part. They do tons of damage, like we said earlier.
I wonder if he'll consider a refill. And then Box should go fine, but and his missile count is pretty low.
His missile count is really low. He will not have enough missiles for Sector 6 after killing Box.
I mean, there's a couple backup strats. One's to refill. There's a fancy little spark he can do as well.
The other thing I'm worried about here is that if he does tink missiles here against Box, he won't have missiles against the side hoppers coming
which can one-shot him.
Yeah, and he's one hit away from a side hopper, I think, before dying. So Herc is in a lot of trouble here. He's not even gonna have enough missiles for Box. Okay, so he used a charge beam to finish off Box here, and he's in really bad shape right now.
Yes, and then trying to hit this particular side hopper with the charge beam, its location is basically at that little, right past that little burst in speed, right before you become invincible is when you run to that side hopper.
Wow, Herc gets really lucky with the RNG there for that side hopper. So that first side hopper coming off the morph ball shaft there, it can do one of two things. It can jump high and you can roll under it, or it'll jump low and it'll hit you. Herc got really lucky there.
Would have been a good thing Sophia finished or kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we'll probably see. I'm pretty sure we'll see Herc do a spark strat to get past the barrier.
Yep. And if all else fails, you can always just pick that missile pack up in the room just before that missile barrier. So he should not be in any danger of like losing tons of time here, because he does have.
And then the spark track, it's only like half a second slower than the missiles.
Yeah, he does have a plan B and a plan C just in case.
He is one full Ice X hit away from dying.
Definitely, yeah.
But if he collects an Ice X going through a transition, the second part of the hit does not register, and he'd survive.
I think Herc is experienced enough not to get hit by Ice X's, but I mean, Sector 3 tells me a lot of things otherwise. So
yeah, I mean, there is one Ice X that can end up blowing up by the time you stun it. That is hard to read if you're going to grab it or not.
Yep, so Herc walking on eggshells here. He's got to be really careful about Sector 6. And hopefully he can get to the eye door and get that red X and everything will be alright.
He just has to make it to the E-Tank.
That's true, there is an E-Tag coming up.
The fastest E-Tank too. Beautiful. Oh, a nice spark too. I think that's frame perfect. To not bonk on the floor along the way there.
And it did look like he bombed the wall at the correct position too, so he'll be coming back to an open path for that missile tank that he wants to pick up later.
Nice position for that X. That X sometimes ends up a little bit too far right and a little bit too low that you have to remember to morph to get past it.
Okay, Herc clear of any danger now.
Fusion bombs have a pretty area of effects. Not Metroid 2 wide, but still fairly wide.
I think it's like a 3-block radius or something. Oh, Sophia, in the same room! Oh no. That's really, really, really unfortunate. I think at this point Sophia would have to consider more extreme safety strats in that room. That's the second time she died in the exact room.
Yeah, I would either grab the second E-tank by Arachnus or an E-tank grabbing an E-tank along the way out of Sector 1.
Yeah, or even if it's just to save in Sector 2 would be enough.
Yeah, because there's a safer right in that same room.
Yeah.
Oh, so Megacore, it's another boss that utilizes the flare. You take some damage to get into the core itself, and then you have to do a full charge with that flare in it.
So Herc with really good manipulation of the Core X, getting that sweet spot. Yeah, at this point, it's definitely Herc's race to lose here. It just needs to make sure he completes this game in a single segment and should not have any issues.
Or just save somewhere.
Or just save somewhere, yep.
I mean, because we're looking at a 30-minute deficit right now, plus the skill difference.
Yeah, I mean, when we take that into perspective, the Hubert versus JRP race, I think JRP was about 30 minutes ahead. Well, no, that example doesn't make sense. But I think it was 30 minutes or something like that. Even JRP would not have been able to catch up.
Nice store.
Yeah, and then you take a look at all of the Metroid Fusion 100% races that we had, where people would die at Sector 2 doing SAX skip and could not catch up to the other runner. And that was about 20 minutes in. So definitely, I don't think that there is a chance for Sophia to catch up here unless, Herc dies somewhere without saving. So Herc finally getting the best colored suit in all of Metroid history, and is going to Sector 5 to pick up some ice missiles. You think it's kind of convenient that ice missiles are in an ice sector?
Yeah, you can always forget them.
That's true.
Yes, so this, for the most part, this game just basically holds your hands like, okay, go here, go here, go here. There's a one tiny opportunity where you can accidentally not go the complete way. Because this trip is basically, you take 2 loops through this entire sector just to get what you want. and then you leave.
I don't know. I think it'd make more sense for ice missiles to be a heated sector, so you can use it to, you know, your advantage.
So they melt before you get them. They become water missiles.
Water missiles. Wow, Herc taking it really risky here.
And he's fine. Ripper's staying pretty not Rippers, but Waver's staying out of the way. That's good.
Meanwhile, Sophia picking up the morph ball for a third time.
Okay, Herc halfway through his third loop so he can open up the yellow doors.
Oh, Herc's gonna do it.
Nice.
He's going to attempt reverse ice here. He didn't. He wasn't inside the doorway. Yeah, you have to be inside the doorway.
Like almost transitioning close.
Oh, and he tried to do it unbuffered too. Wow.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it buffered.
Herc said no more, and he's going to get ice the intended way.
At least it's in his head that he still has to pick up the ice missiles.
Maybe we can convince him that he already has ice. We'll see. Ah, that's a shame.
Yep, so a fairly common mistake that especially newer runners could do is, so you make your full trip here, it's like, okay, it's time to go back to the nav room. Except there's this little door that's kind of right there that you don't think about, that has ice missiles. If you don't grab them, a computer gets mad at you.
Yeah, Adam would be like, hey, did you forget something? So it looks like Herc isn't as rusty as I kind of expected him to be. He's doing really well here in Sector 5.
Yep, and if you forget ice missiles, you see this little shadow that's kind of floating around in the back. If you don't see this shadow, make sure you turn around now. But anyways, it is time for everybody's favorite part of Fusion. Emergency in Franker Z. Go ahead and spam that in chat.
It's not my favorite.
It's not your favorite. What is your favorite?
I don't know, actually.
Okay.
Any predictions on the time left when Hercules hits that switch to stop the emergency?
4:29.
4:29. That's a pretty good guess. I'm gonna go ahead and say 4:20.
Expecting a lot of beams.
Yeah, you know, 3 beams.
And no doubles.
Well, 3 beams and poor movement. We'll see.
Looks like Herc shot a little bit too late on that first missile, because it looks like he actually got hit by the stretch right before it got frozen.
He used a charge beam instead of 2 missiles, so
Ouch.
yeah, it didn't kill the stretchy in 2 hits like he wanted it to.
Please be careful. Should be fine now.
Uh-oh. There's that movement error I was talking about. 420 seems definitely possible here. See 3 beams, please. He only gets 1 beam.
Not bad.
Oh, he takes the first double. And the
second. 0 doubles.
0 doubles, but
it's a very particular setup. There's not a whole lot of leniency to get it.
Yeah, so far.
So something that we haven't talked about yet is, so with each missile upgrade that we see, it becomes harder to do double missiles. The missile itself moves faster, and the cooldown between how often you can shoot the missiles increases. So you need more space and more precise second shot.
Yeah, once you get to the point where you're shooting, you know, the fusion missiles or something, you also have to rely on Samus's falling speed to get that double in. Or jumping speed if you're doing a normal Core X fight. But in the Ice Core X, definitely the falling speed is definitely a factor there. I don't think Herc intended to freeze that stretchy and goes all the way back down. Oh no, the stretchies are trolling him right now.
Oh yeah. Surprised that stretch. Wait. Surprised that stretchy was still frozen. Didn't see him shoot another missile up. Fortunately for him, not a whole lot of scary parts coming up before his next refill. He has 2 pretty easy opportunities for refills along the way to the next boss.
Yeah, he should be expected to pick up a red X after getting his power bombs. So, I mean, it's his choice though whether or not he wants to get it. But having this low HP when running through the spitter corridor, I think it would probably benefit him to get that red X. But we'll see. I mean, this is thinking far ahead, but this is the HP.
I don't think I've ever seen Herc do stretchy climb, aka impossible strat.
No, I think he does the jump extend. Alright, so we have Sophia now, back again in Sector 2.
Still no extra E-Tank.
Still no extra E-Tank, but are we going to see a change in how Sophia will handle that room? Or are we going to see another death? I mean, at this point, I think it would probably benefit Sophia to hit that save right there, right next to this room.
This room, or the room she does, has a save room to the right of it, too.
Yeah. Alright, Herc missing the jump extend, he's gonna have to freeze 2 stretchies, and Sophia opting to skip the save, but is taking these rooms very carefully right now. Whoa.
Herc trying to Connoisseur just a little bit too soon, loses that. But plenty of missiles for everything.
And Herc missed the shine break here. So he is in danger again with his health. But like I said, he's expected to see a red X coming up here shortly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of danger with an SAX counter coming up, but even if he was at full HP, it's a one-shot kill.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about him running through the spitter corridor without...
He'll get a red... There's an easy opportunity for a red X right after escape, or the SAX escape, but just that little... There's a purple... what is that? Purple crab, basically. That's basically a guaranteed red X drop.
Yeah, but
there's actually
will he pick it up?
I mean, it's basically cost-free if you set it up right.
Alright, so we have Sophia picking up the bombs upgrade, and is coming up to the room where she died twice. Hopefully we see a change in strategy here.
Yep, so everyone give her some energy.
I would kill these Zoros for the health, to be honest.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go.
To the right, to the right.
Taking it really careful. Very good, very good, very good. And decides to teabag the Zoro.
Wow.
This is esports, guys.
That jump was pretty close.
Sophia may get out of that room where she died twice, but definitely not out of trouble yet. There are still tons of Zoros in her way, and there are also pancakes.
There we go. Should be pretty safe now. Mostly safe.
These pancakes do some damage too, so I would be really careful here. And then, of course, a giant side, or the side hopper that shoots out barbs. Very nice. Meanwhile, Hercules is about to set up a shine spark here.
Beautiful.
Very swag-tastic.
Ouch missile for Sophia. Most important strat ever.
Oh man, I'm so worried for Herc's health for some reason. He misses the Ice X. He's got some rippers coming up that he might accidentally hit.
Alright, trip number 2 for in Sector 5 gets us a power bomb and a Sax encounter. Lots of fun. Alright. Herc should be fine now. Just has to survive a Sax encounter. No big deal.
You don't even see Sax in this in this encounter. Very nice.
Yep, then he absolutely needs at least some health.
He needs that Red X to survive the spitters, and he does get it, so once again, out of trouble.
Yeah, because if you get hit by a spitter, it's like 73 damage, 74, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they're run killers in 0%. Alright, some signs of rush showing from Herc. Taking lots of damage. Not quite the optimal movement. I'm really hoping that Herc would do a little bit more practicing after his race. So we can see the real Hercules bench press. Meanwhile, Sophia deciding not to do the sack skip. All right, any guesses on how many rounds Hercules might see in Yakuza?
No more than 4.
No more than 4. How can you be so sure?
Because Yakuza is just like an I-beam that takes more time.
I guess you're right, yeah.
Played it a little bit safe just to make sure that power bomb goes off for long enough to destroy those blocks.
Yep. At this point, you get a free chance to save here, and Herc declines to save, putting more pressure in his run, making sure that he doesn't die. Otherwise, tables will turn, and Sophia will have the massive lead. But I bet Sophia is glad that she's finally out of Sector 2.
I'd be glad too. Changing his mind about skipping that E-tank.
Herc with some 0% instinct there.
Yep, always skip that first pirate just to make sure you don't have a pirate in your way when you're trying to kill an Idor. There's an event system within rooms as well that dictate, like, whenever you kill some enemy, sometimes the X just flies off to a random spot and adds a new enemy. In this particular room, the first X goes to above the second pirate, and the second X goes below to where the second pirate was, where he can shoot you while you're trying to defeat an Idor. So, Yakuza. He could decide to open his mouth every time he moves, or he can run away. So that was a 2-round.
2-round.
Nice fight.
Very nice, very nice.
And then this is the part that makes Yakuza a really hard fight when you're starting out. The movements after space jumps are completely random. Sometimes when the space jump starts up again, it's random. So like sometimes it'll just jump as soon as you fire your missile, and whenever he's spinning, you can't do damage. 2 doubles.
2 doubles to Herc. And the sweet spot.
Really nice. You could get second phase doubles. It's really hard.
Yeah, I like and I hate Yakuza. I like Yakuza because it is a fight of skill and not RNG. Well, the initial part is RNG, but the second part is probably the most skill-based fight that you have in this game.
The skill and RNG reaction based. I mean, there's still a lot of RNG in the second one, but just the reacting to it.
Yeah.
Efficiently.
And the reason why I hate Yakuza is because of the RNG.
Sophia is not confident with getting down to the ground to wait for Sirius, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That was a 2-shot still.
Better safe than sorry, yeah?
Oh yeah. I'd like to see this run get completed.
Sophia making really good use of the ladder, the ceiling rungs there.
So there was a random enemy that was trying to chase Herc when you were trying to fall down a room beforehand. If they hit you with a tail, that's 129 damage to you. And get hit at the wrong time, you can kind of get cornered and insta-killed.
Can you imagine not having any iframes after being hit by a key hunter?
Oh my.
Just get drilled by the key hunter's stinger.
And welcome to the Metroid fight. A fight that is deceptively hard to optimize. So, the basic strat is you're going to take your max missiles, in Herc's case 40 missiles, you're going to take 48 and subtract that out of it. And you want to do mini charge beam shots that's missing from that 48, paired with parabombs every 3.
Yeah, the magic number is 48, and you want to make sure that you have...
Nice sweet spot.
Yeah, you want to make sure you're able to get 48 hits in. While the missile, the charge beam, and the power bomb vary in damage, they only vary ever so slightly. That when we talk about using missiles and power bomb or charge beam and power bomb against Metroid, they all count as one hit.
Okay, then Herc is off to a boss that gave everyone nightmares as a child. In this run, it's actually a very trivial fight in the end, once you just learn and put a lot of time into this one.
Oh man, I love watching people on Twitch fight against Nightmare if it's their first time. Just the rage that you can see, the burning in their eyes if they have face cam on, trying to kill Nightmare. And if there are any of those people in the chat here, be prepared to see how easy Nightmare actually is.
So what Herc's going to do at the start of the second, it'll be similar to what he did at the very start of the last time he was here to get power bombs, except it's going to last a lot longer.
You know, Herc has some time. Maybe he might attempt the space boost.
We might see the space boost. I hope we do.
Oh, he's going for it.
He is.
He's going for real.
Very happy. So one of the things that makes it hard, what you just saw right there, is if your velocity is downwards when you enter a door transition or a transition in general, it just forces Samus on the ground. So you have to time it so you're just barely starting to go up as you enter the transition.
It's a really hard trick. I think you have to you need to have Samus in a specific jump state going through each room so you avoid getting forced into the ground or something like that.
Oh hey, Red X drop.
And it is definitely all about timing, or maybe some buffered jump inputs there between rooms.
Would not recommend buffering that.
Well, no, not pause buffering, but just jump transition buffering. Herc showing off his 100% skills.
So 4 shots to the core, along with missiles. You can actually get away with just the last one without doing the missile and be fine. And then it's like, how many missiles again?
Should finish with 7 missiles here.
You can finish it with 8. But he's gonna finish it. Herc's gonna finish it with 7 since he did the extra missile at the beginning.
Oh, he may have missed 1 missile then.
I don't remember him missing a missile. But still the perfect.
Or you know what? That 1 missile could have been used on the eye door and skipped the Red X because he already picked the Red X up.
No, he picked it up.
Oh, okay.
and rip Nightmare.
And on the other side here, we have Sophia playing
Be
around
careful
with the
with
box.
be careful with the fire, please.
Yeah, the fire does a lot of damage. And we can't stress this enough. Everything does a lot of damage. And getting hit by them unintentionally can cause a lot of problems. It hurt with the bonk.
Best bonk ever.
Yeah.
Nice position for that pirate. Oh, bonked it. I mean,
Sophia decided to go with safety E-tank up there.
I like that. It's a fairly slow one, but it's a really nice one, like going into Sector 6. It also lets you avoid one of the troll side hoppers.
Herc making his way through lower Sector 4. The bane of all 0% low percent runners.
Yes, like this section right here, up until you get diffusion missile, is the absolute scariest section of the run. It causes more death than a lot of things. Everything does massive damage. Nightmare takes like 3 hits to kill you in low percent, but everything here can kill you in like 2.
Yeah, it's funny to me how a boss.
Normal enemies do less damage, or do more damage somehow.
Yeah, like Nightmare is huge. He covers the whole screen. He's got lasers and he can control the freaking gravity. But a purple fish can kill you outright.
And there's a lot of tight spaces in this little area that is kind of hard to avoid, like right there. And then this little crab can sometimes block the way, along with the little sickles flying out of nowhere. Or out of them. But yeah, so we see that's about 160 damage taken since he unlocked the doors. He took less damage than that from Nightmare.
Yeah.
Actually, probably might have taken a little bit more.
So the interesting thing, the fusion missiles, I used to say that if there was an upgrade I wanted to get rid of in fusion, it's the fusion missiles. And then I thought about how useful it is in 100%. Like, it seems to me that they give you the fusion missiles only for gimmicks. And nothing really, spectacular.
Oh, probably shouldn't have gone that way.
Yeah, Sophia might be in a little bit of trouble here. Very fortunate to pick up that extra E-tank, though. Sophia will be picking up another E-tank here, so...
Oh, yeah.
Definitely out of trouble for now.
We have not seen a save yet from Sophia.
No, I'm willing to bet that she's going to save at the ship.
Oh, no, come on.
Jump. Again, the extra E-tank saving lives. If you're not very comfortable with the game, it's definitely useful to pick up extra E-tanks.
Yep, so the normal hold strat for that skip is you gotta make sure Sax walks 2 steps before shooting. Otherwise you get that just turn around and shoots you diagonally thing. And then let's not talk about the other strat. And let's see how Megacore goes. The big thing you want to make sure you're doing is not spinning like that. And every time you have a charge, your beam charged up and you do a spin attack, it's going to do what's known as a pseudo screw attack, and you lose your charge beam.
Yeah, the pseudo screw attack I think does damage equivalent to the charge beam, but the problem with that in the Mega Corex fight is that it's going to hit one of its satellites.
Good job to Sophia for pulling that through.
Yep.
And just in time for us to watch Hard Quit go against Box 2. Similar fight to the first one, except Box 2 now has the ability to knock you off the ceiling when you're hanging off the rungs.
Yeah, and it was a perfect fight for Merc. Only, what, 2 jumps? 1 jump?
2 jumps? 2 extra jumps?
No, I don't think he had any extra jumps. He killed it perfectly.
Let me think about this. No, it doesn't matter. Moving on.
I'm pretty sure Box 2, though, is Hercules' most hated boss.
Just the core itself.
Just the core. Like, if Herc could do a Yelp review on this game, he'd probably give Box 2 core, 1 star or something. Oh, that puffer giving Sophia some problems here.
Yep, so most enemies in the game, they have 2 patterns that can do. A few enemies have 4, like those puffers. So, they're pretty... They can give you some nasty patterns. We'll just leave it at that.
60 seconds to isolation lockdown.
Didn't bump into any Metroids on the way out. Good job. This is the part where Adam gets mad at Samus for knocking out the restricted area.
I think he's more angry at Samus for killing the Metroids more than killing SAX.
Doesn't kill SAX yet.
Well, he kills
one
of
them.
SAXs. Yeah. I know that he mentions, like, yo, what are you doing? Stop killing my SAX babies. But I'm pretty sure deep down inside they're more upset about the Metroids dying.
Yeah, it's like, there goes all our research monies and stuff. Back to square one.
Yeah, not to mention that Samus is messing with endangered species. Like, you can go to jail for that in planet Earth. I don't know what planet you're from. Ooh, we're having a little bit of issues killing these spitters that spawn gold pirates.
Well, still got them down in time. Do not actually lose time on that. Alright, how many beams for? I guess 0. Final Ardor didn't put up a fight.
He gave up.
Pretty nice pattern from Ridley so far.
Fortunately, Herc's not making the best of it. He used one of his charge beam on Ridley's tail.
Yeah, the only thing that...
Oh no! What is going on here? Herc! Oh no!
Rip a Reno. And then...
no!
Good thing Sophia restarted.
Yeah,
twice.
Sophia now has a huge lead against her. Oh, this is unexpected. Oh no. what is going to happen
Yeah, it's
now?
like really 80%. It's one of those fights that 99% of the time it goes flawless, no issues at all. And then sometimes he just gives him some really bad patterns where he knocks you, then turns it into a grab like that. And then you're not able to get the stunned hits in consistently.
Oh, this is
It's pretty heartbreaking. It really sucks when that happens to yourself. Oh,
Sophia almost pulling a secret key here. Checks the map and remembers that she has to get the ice missiles.
Yep, and then one of the things that was kind of addressed earlier is like noticing about the rumbles and the shadows of Nightmare's Shadow. It's just one of those subconscious things. Like you might notice, might not notice, but you wouldn't be actually looking for it.
So I'm pulling up my splits here, and I'm pretty sure Herc has similar splits from me. It's gonna take Herc 35 minutes to get to the ice missiles. Sophia has 35-minute lead right now, and I'm hoping that Sophia at least saves somewhere.
Yeah.
To lock in that advantage. This is crazy. This is a huge shift. Herc was almost done with the game. He was about 10 minutes away from winning the game.
Yep.
Oh, what do you know? Another emergency.
I do like that is the me response, like, well, I guess I'm restarting then.
Yeah, Herc immediately restarts the game as to not lose any more time than he already did. Sophia already has 4 E-tanks, so in terms of safety, I think Sophia is pretty safe right now.
I think so, and then it's going to become a 5th E-tank too right after this.
Yeah. Just starting to realize Sophia has the JBL Kaboom box going on in her stream. Super strong bass. This is crazy. Yeah, like I said, all Sophia has to do is just make sure that she does not die. Or, at the very least, save somewhere. Oh, you don't want to kill that stretchy though. Or that block under the stretchy.
more so the block.
Yeah.
There's still a lot if you kill the stretchy. But the block, you have to wait quite a while, and it's a pretty long wait whenever
it is. Oh, I think Sophia would have been able to make that jump, but decides to go the other way anyway.
Let's see. Looks like she's going for the double. Nope.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, there was a huge turn of events here. Herc had about, I don't know, a 30-minute lead, and he was 10 minutes away from finishing the game until he died to Ridley, and now had to restart the game. Sophia kept chugging along, and now it turns out that Sophia has the 30-minute advantage. So,
yep, and it's definitely one of those things. If you don't see a dot done from your opponent, keep going.
yeah, absolutely. This is insane. Like, if Sophia's not watching the restream, she might think that the game is already over by now. You know?
Yeah, because it does sound like that she's also kind of new to SRL in general as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's definitely no rule against watching the restream when you're doing a non-rando race.
Yeah. Well, part of it also just depends on your internet too.
Oh yeah.
Definitely don't watch the restream while you're racing if you're gonna drop frames while doing so.
Yeah, I mean, I just use the data on my phone when I race, so.
I wonder if we'll see her grab the 4th E-tank.
I think Herc will try to rush through and go with the optimal E-tank and missile count.
The 1 E-tank route.
Ooh, Herc gets sniped there.
Sophia is probably right around the 45-minute mark RTA right now. Maybe 50? It's really hard to say.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that Sophia reset her timer during all of this. In a tournament race, I don't think the runner should reset their timers if they die. I know it's habit and it's reflex and all, but definitely try to avoid doing that if you can.
And then we're also a few minutes past the split itself, so haven't. Well, I'm gonna hop on Church and see if we reset it for the 2nd run.
Yeah, this is crazy. I was not expecting something like this. So Sophia is not going to set up the shine break here, so we'll be seeing the slow climb in this shaft.
Yes, like the old shine break was a 2-frame. What was a 2-frame window? The newer one has a 4 to 6 frame, depending on where exactly you start.
Pretty decent animals for Sophia.
Those pretty. Those like a mid-fast, moderately fast animals.
Yeah. So Herc, just about done with Sector 1. He's going to finish off this last stabilizer here, and then he'll be heading on to Sector 2. Meanwhile, Sophia on her way to pick up power bombs, which to me kind of marks the halfway point of the game. I really want to see, like, assuming that neither runner dies at this point on, I really want to see how much time, how much ground Hercules can cover from the point that he died up to when, you know, if he does catch up to Sophia. And it being somewhat rusty at the game is definitely not going to help Hercules here right now. Alright, so Hercules is leaving Sector 1, Sophia entering the hallway of elevators. I really think that we should start naming these rooms. They don't have official names, I don't think. It'd be really nice to give them like special names. And Sophia now in Sector 5 once again, coming back to pick up the power bombs. Hercules entering Sector 2, where he's just going to get the not power bombs, but regular bombs. Sophia not going to do the Shine Spark here. There is a small debate as to whether or not that Shine Spark actually saves time versus just running through like Sophia did. Herc looking pretty good. Navigating through Sector 2 big room. Sophia just getting the power bombs here and will encounter the SAX. If all goes well, you should not even see SAX in the screen. But I think Sophia is doing the safety strat here, not provoking SAX at all, as to avoid accidentally getting shot on her way out. Pretty good strat. Also opting to pick up the Red X. Meanwhile, Hercules just unlocked the security doors and is on his way to get the bombs. So far it looks to me like Sophia, although Sophia is not really doing the faster strats for each room, she's definitely doing the safer strats of the room, so dying might not be an issue for Sophia if she plays, you know, the rooms properly. But I still really want to see that save though, just to make sure that, you know, any unforeseen
accidents,
yes, accident or spaghetti, doesn't ruin her chance to win. So yeah, here in the navigation room, Adam is basically begging Sophia, hey, the save point is here. Use this one. It's not out of the way. But we'll see. Not that far off now from the ship.
Yep, it's like when we used to play only English version for every single thing in Fusion before a few of us decided to start getting the JP cart. Whenever you save over your 0000 file, you lost it forever in English. In order to get a new one, you would have to watch a 5-minute cutscene just to have that file again. With Japanese version, however, You could start on a new game file, and then you can basically just skip that beginning cutscene. So it's not as big of a deal to lose your race file.
We'll see. We'll see what happens here. This is really important.
Please save.
There
we
is.
go.
So Sophia does lock in that time advantage against Herc.
I mean, each death to Yakuza would probably still be a 5-minute loss, but
You can afford
what's
like
those?
6 deaths.
a few, not infinite. Nice doubles
Yeah, Herc
on her
has
side.
beautiful doubles and the sweet spot.
Yeah, so if we had a death counter on screen, we'd have Herc at 1, Sophia at 2 right now, and both deciding to not just forfeit on their deaths and just continuing anyways to make sure this race is done today.
Yeah. Fortunately, though, for Sophia, when she died the first time, she instantly went into the Discord and said, "I died. What do I do?" So I mean, definitely a new runner and new to the whole tournament part of racing, and she didn't know whether if you died you automatically lost. But we told her that you have a chance to restart if you want, or just forfeit. And
it's paying off.
yeah, definitely chose to restart, and look what happened. I think a few of those missiles whiffed because Sophia did not jump, but Yakuza is brown, so we're going to see one more volley of missiles here.
And if you're gonna do grab shot, you really want to do it as soon as possible rather than wait to the bottom.
Yeah.
He does climb pretty slow. Yep, and then the really hard part about Yakuza this phase is you have to read where Yakuza himself is jumping, and you have to read where the little garbage he's tossing out is falling.
I do like how Sophia changed from missiles to using the beam to minimize the extra damage here that she might expect to take.
Very nice. Yeah, but then I've actually always found the charge beam strat to be a little bit harder than missile strats. It's like the charge beam, it takes 64 frames to charge up, and then for the most part, that's like barely enough time to hit Yakuza before he has a chance to hit you again.
Yeah, but on the other side of that, if you do shoot that wave or that wide beam, you could destroy the projectiles that Yakuza spits at you, preventing damage.
And hit Yakuza at the same time still.
Yeah, although not for maximum damage, but still.
Little damage
it
better
is,
than no damage.
Yeah, it's still safer than dying, right? So I think Sophia understands the situation here and is choosing to take the safest of all the strats just to make it through the run.
I wonder if she's gonna wait out Sax in the last room, or if she's gonna go straight down.
We'll see. She definitely knows what she's doing.
That's a little bit scary.
Yeah, good
You
reflex.
You definitely want Sax to see Sax on screen before doing that. Don't go that way. I never knew that those didn't reform.
I think Sophia got de-boosted into the room.
That's pretty cool.
But quick thinking, Sophia decides to re-enter the room before SAX could show up. SAX's sprite actually damaged Sophia.
I was hoping to see a safety safe right there. I mean, none of us shouldn't pose any problems.
No, I don't think so. Sophia not all the way at the edge of that platform, so
Yep.
that flower on the left is going to bug her.
Yep, you either want to hang out on the far left or the far right. The far left will still spit out the pollen, but it won't hit you if you're crouched. On the far right, just doesn't shoot pollen at all, and is the preferred position because it's a little bit short of a distance for your missiles and shots to travel.
Yep. Meanwhile, Herc is not wasting any time. I think he had a really good Ceres fight.
Alright, plasma get.
So just a few more bosses to go for Sophia. One more boss in the gauntlet, and then it'll be Box 2, Ridley, and SAX and Omega.
Nice slow high from Herc. Wow, like 2 pixels away from getting touched by that key hunter. That was a scary thing to do. So one of the other #1 rules for Fusion speedrunning is always have charge beam going.
Yeah,
or unofficial
absolutely.
rules rather.
Absolutely. Charge beam is so useful, and the fact that the game gives you charge beam all the time when you transition through a door, like you could be just starting to wind up a charge beam when you enter a room, and by the time the door transition is done, you have a full charge beam ready. And
Yep.
when you release the charge beam in door transitions, you automatically shoot it at the first frame available in the next room. So the game gives you everything that you need to make charge beam OP, and it's a waste if you don't use it at all.
I mean, there's some very specific circumstances you don't want to have the charge beam going,
Yes,
but they're very few.
but in most cases, you should be holding that B button the entire game, honestly. Oh, Sophia. Sophia's
What?
gonna
What?
come back and show Herc how
Awesome.
a Nightmare Space Boost is done.
She
Oh
is.
man! Oh, and she drops it though.
Oh, she doesn't
That's
know the backup.
unfortunate.
She doesn't know the backup spark. Oh well, that's fine.
I like the return, Sophia returning the favor and putting salt in the wound.
Yeah. I would have been thoroughly impressed to have seen it done by her. I mean, because there's some people that like to practice like specific tricks and nothing else, and it'll definitely show which ones you put more time in learning and practicing as well.
Yeah, 100%.
I could definitely see somebody do nothing but space boost and that's it.
I mean, we do have certain runners that, yeah, like you said, practice only space boost, only to die to Nightmare every time right after.
Always, 100%.
Yeah, a certain runner in the chat who's got purple name. Sophia taking the safety save here.
I'm very glad. I wonder if she'll go for that 6th E tank or just go with the 5.
We'll see.
It's like if you know how to do the perfect unmorph to get to the E-tank fast, then it's definitely worth it. Meanwhile, Herc's going to grab his super missiles. Let's see. Oh, he lost it.
Alright, let's see how Nightmare fares for Sophia. Sophia's not using the flare in her plasma, so it's just a few more hits. No missiles either, so what was that, like 6 hits?
Yeah, it was 6 hits. It wasn't bad. Let's see if she knows the lure.
Oh, I'd just get out of the way. I would just get out of the way.
Run. There we go. Yeah, so learning how to stop Nightmare in the right spot is the trickiest thing.
There it is.
You essentially you don't whenever Nightmare's flying to the right, you don't want Nightmare to go off screen. Nice double.
Beautiful double. I don't think Sophia even bothers to attempt doubles here, but she was really fortunate enough to get that one double in, saving 3 seconds.
Yeah, I think the only one that she's been going for the entire run's the first double of every single fight.
Yeah.
It
one
does
more
take
boss, yeah.
It does take a bit of practice to get used to them.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that you need to actually put in effort and practice for, and then commit to muscle memory. But one more boss down for Sophia, and just a few more to go. Yeah.
Well, 2 ability bosses. And we'll see how Sector 4 goes for her. Meanwhile, Herc is making his way back to Sector 6 with a lot better for a health and ammo situation than he was last time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was hurting the last time.
1% fish do not do stuff.
Yeah, it does not.
Did that Red X become an enemy on her? Because I saw a Red X like floating like right towards her, then it disappeared.
I don't know actually. But yeah, Red X's can turn into enemies if you don't pick them up right away. Also, there are certain X's that you cannot pick up at all because they will turn into enemies.
Or if you pick them up, they don't become the enemy you need.
Right. Those I think are designed that way just so that the game can troll you. But there are specific X's that no matter how hard you try, you just cannot pick them up.
Yeah, they just never develop a hitbox.
Yeah, they become a key enemy in the room. Uh-oh, Sophia was not able to get the space boost there, so she's gonna have to go back the other way.
She knows the intended way in the backup for messing it up.
Probably will do a Shine Spark up here. Very nice.
So Japanese version is actually half a second slower than English version when it comes to in-game time. just for come this front one room right here to the left of the missile upgrades. On the English version, that little puffer that you refreeze is actually in that little hole on the right, and I believe that that entire wall is actually shifted a tile as well, if I remember correctly.
The English version has 3 paths, where the Japanese version only has 2.
And in the context of getting through, that gives us a puffer that is a little bit further away, so we have to wait that extra half second for it to freeze them.
Yeah, I blame the people who get the secret message the cheesy way. It's their fault that I have to suffer half a second time loss.
Yeah, they find these stuff pretty fast. And then this is about the beginning of all the nice videos posted everywhere era. So it's like, hey, I figured this out. Oh yeah? We're taking this out.
Sophia might not be out of danger just yet, depending on how well she handles box 2. Having only 2 E-tanks, which is what the typical
That's
runner.
fine.
Okay, or a recharge. There you go. Never mind. Yeah, I was gonna say her health count was probably something to worry about, considering how much damage she takes everywhere she goes.
I mean, there's also like 6 blue legs like that you can stun and grab while waiting for a parabomb too.
Yeah.
Oh, Herc got the shine store again at the end of 6.
Nice. Alright, Sophia coming up on box 2 now. We'll see how this goes. Well, she's got 6 E-tanks, so I don't think that there will be...
It should be fine then, as long as she doesn't get bounced or knocked her off repetitively.
Yeah, and it looks like she may be going for safe strats here, maybe? She's definitely keeping her distance.
Yeah, and then not trying to go for those diagonals. If you miss them or just end up in the wrong spot, you'll just get knocked off the wall and into a very nice fight.
Yeah, very nice. I don't think all of the wave beams in the world will be able to kill Sophia here.
Oh yeah. Oh, just a little bit off to get that sweet spot though. That looks pretty good. Thought it would have been in a sweet spot still.
Warning, no entry without authorization.
Yeah, it's not looking too good for her right now. It seems to me that Sophia changed the way that she plays into safer strats.
Yeah, because we definitely didn't see any safety saves until after Herc died.
Yeah.
Warning, no entry without authorization. Warning, no entry without
We'll see though. There's still a lot of things that could happen.
Yeah,
if not Ridley, you know.
As long as she's doing the safety save, she can handle a few deaths.
Right. That's a pretty good escape for what it was.
Oh yeah. Those baby Metroids like to be in the way sometimes.
I think Samus should have put one of those baby Metroids in her pocket. I mean, the last time she had a baby Metroid, she got a hyper beam out of it.
Sounds like a fair trade.
Yeah. So Sophia's back in Sector 1 now, off to face a certain arch nemesis. Is it possible for her to win? Yes, but it's very, very small chance when you consider that Sophia is doing safety strats and saving. At this point, so Sophia last saved at Nightmare. Even if she does die here, she'd have to die like maybe 2 or 3
And she's gonna save right here too.
And she's gonna save again, yeah. So
yeah, she's doing everything she can right now to secure this race.
Yes. Yes, if she continues to save everywhere she goes and inches to the finish line, there's no possible way for Hercules to catch up. Yeah, Hercules is just too far behind. Now, if Sophia was only like 10 minutes in when Hercules died, then it would have been a different story. But 30 minutes is just too much. Sophia showing off how to kill Ridley without dying.
You should have pretty low problems at this point. He's already dead.
Yeah.
And didn't take too much damage.
No, I mean, if Sophia had the normal 2 E-tanks, or 3, she still would have been fine.
Yeah. She would have died at 2 E-tanks. Would she? No. She'd be at 99.
No, well, she took damage from the tail as Ridley was dying, I think. But she killed Ridley with 1 E-tank missing and a few damage. So it's off to the final boss here for Sophia. I would give it like maybe 15 more minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
Meanwhile, Hercules once again trying to stop a meltdown. Oh, that side hopper could have caused him. Okay. So if you kill a side hopper there in that room, it may come back and spawn another one on you. I did not know that.
Huh. And then Herc was cutting ultra close on that emergency. He had like 59 energy. Opening that door.
And he was so close to touching a side hopper, which does like between 45 and 50. I don't know. You have various suits, so it might be a little bit less.
It's still a decent chunk, and even if he killed, and then actually right outside emergency eye door, you just want to freeze the side hopper, and that's it. The place where the next side hopper spawns after killing an enemy is right by the door, and then I've seen multiple instances from other runners where they die to that side hopper the frame it spawns. It's like if you try to go back and watch it frame by frame, it's like you don't even see the side hopper, basically.
I guess Samus was not immune Parasite X.
Alright, so we get the final Adam interaction of the speedrun. And a monologue from Samus. And then the other stuff.
Yep, it's all going to come down to whether or not Sophia has a good SAX fight here, or I'm pretty sure Sophia will save. If you look at the track record.
Yeah, she'll definitely save probably.
And we're done with that long text sequence.
Meanwhile, Hercules saving himself some animals again.
Both runners are actually going to main deck right now.
Nice space boost from Sophie.
Except Sophia is going to bring the station
Down.
and Hercules is going to try to find his Uber drivers. There's that save.
Yep, and then not a lot that can go wrong with 70 tanks. Other than a potential soft lock. And with a sub-hour time, Sophia most definitely knows some form of a the SAX freeze strat.
Yeah.
Actually, still has the charging going.
I guess she wants to do the baby strats. Like I said, all safety strats here. There's no point in Sophia trying to do difficult strats that could cause problems.
I was about to say, this strat does not seem safer to me than the other one, but
if you know how to, yeah, if you know how to manipulate SAX after each charge shot, then SAX would not touch you at all.
All right, we avoided the soft lock.
Oh, a little bit too early there. Sophia going again for the safety strats here. No attempts on doubles.
Yeah, I want to go for double. And then screw attack and fusion is actually pretty overpowered as well. Lets you avoid both the ice beam and the core X itself when you're using screw attack.
Yeah, the only thing that can touch you in screw attack is SAX's screw attack.
Propulsion sequence activated.
Yeah, so basically, SAX turning around interrupts the dying animation. And then since you never hit the HP becomes 0 condition, SAX doesn't even take damage anymore.
Just a few more rooms to go for Sophia, and it will be GG's. Meanwhile, Hercules is going to pick up power bombs here. Absolutely no chance for Hercules to catch up here, unless, I don't know, a power outage happens and Sophia could not finish the game.
Don't wish that upon anyone. Don't even suggest that.
I'm not suggesting it. I'm looking for routes here.
Okay, so regarding that soft lock, a lot of it is not killing the SIX while doing that second jump. Didn't lose it, but as long as she plays it safe, it'll be fine.
Yeah, Sophia was in position for that stun lock.
Oh, nice job getting in position again at the end, even while knocking SAX back, not SAX, Omega back. And GG.
GG. I wonder what the official SRL time is. Are you in the SRL channel? Yeah, I actually do need that SRL to submit it into the. Alright, it looks like Sophia finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 34 seconds. GG to Sophia.
So what do blue X's do? Before you get the various suit, they do like two parts of damage, each for like around 30 or 40. If you manage to interrupt the second part by like going through a door transition, it'll only do the first part of damage. And then once you get various, you get healed for like 30 energy.
Oh boy. Looking at the predictions here, everyone chose Hercules to win this match. Rip everybody's predictions.
I thought you guys would Hercules wins in the entire tournament.
Oh, I think there were a few that had Hercules coming up like second place or first place.
You know what happens? Polesmore brings a good point. Last seeds beats first seed of round. It does seem like we're starting a pattern, aren't we?
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting trend. Alright, unfortunately, Sophia does not have a mic, so I don't know how you want to do this. we won't be able to interview Sophia.
It happens. And then Herc decided to keep going again.
Yeah, Herc is roughly 30 minutes out before you start.
Let's see. Yeah, a little under 30 minutes left. Actually, should be like 20 minutes left. Right now, there is not a fusion rando right now. I need to double check to see if the freedom patch ever got completed. But as soon as, because how fusion works is, it is a really very strong event system where, I mean, we know of ways to kind of sequence break around ish, as in we know how to, we can skip certain events or the triggers for the events and make it back to the next deal, except if you're not on the correct event, the game tells you to go back or has another random error. So just that little thing needs to be overcome for a randomizer to happen for fusion. Alright, and then we've got the forfeit from Hercules.
That was stupid.
And there's Hercules.
Dude, that Hercules fight was so dumb. Listen, I don't know what happened, but at a certain point, I got hit in a way where it aimed me down to the ground, so I ended up wasting a shot.
It did look like you were
It was
one hit
really
away. Like it,
dealing enough damage or something. Like he didn't put me down when he picked me up and was like carrying me around. So I got hit like 4 times while he was carrying me, even though I shot an entire shot through him with a missile. When which he's supposed to drop me at that point.
oh,
Bizarre.
That's pretty rough. It happens.
Sophia with a message to Herc.
Hashtag free Herc.
What happened? What happened to Sophia that took her so long to finish?
She died in Sector 2 twice, right after bombs to Zoro. Same place twice.
Jesus. My God. All right.
Yeah, and at that point, it looked like you were guaranteed to win. You know, until you're really.
Well, dang! If I had known that,
that's pretty rough. It happens.
Sophia with a message to Herc.
Hashtag free Herc.
If I had known that information, I probably would have saved and taken it a little bit safer. But
she died in Sector 2 twice, right after bombs.
I guess I just didn't want to
same place
because
twice.
last tournament, everyone had the stream up and they were watching like the entire race, like what the opponent was doing. So it was like
at that point, it looked like
some shenanigans. This time I was,
until
I wanted to play it a little like
mishap
the other person was doing, so that because I didn't want it to affect what I did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because the entire time I was under the impression that you were actually watching the restream.
What?
I was under the impression that you were actually watching the race.
No. I've gotten a habit from doing a Cinco Bingo, of just not about what the opponent is doing, like my other person is doing, until one of us finishes, because like one person is watching and like they get information that another person doesn't have. If one person's watching and the other one doesn't, and it affects the way that they play, it kind of like it just makes things a little weird. Like if they know like if I die or Sophia dies, and I decide, okay, well, I'm going to pick up a few extra E-tanks and save at every save station to make sure that I win. Well, then what's the point of even having the race?
Right.
Yeah. On the same vein, we do need to make sure somebody finishes.
Yeah, it's true. That's why I never give up, even if I die.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that we are actually overlapping another race coming up here in this channel. So I'm gonna hand it over to the SG staff. I don't have any more questions. Do you, JC?
Nope. Thanks for dropping by for the kickoff match. It was fun for it to be extended. This is like a season premiere.
Dude, it's gonna be great. Now I can just run train in the losers bracket.
Yeah, you'll definitely cause a storm in the losers bracket.
Listen, I wasn't doing too bad for someone who hasn't played in like 2 months.
Yeah, and it was funny because I was actually mentioning that you did start off a little rusty, but then everything was starting to feel like a Herc run. You know what I mean? But then Ridley happened, so.
Yeah, I mean it happens. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
When I restarted, I had really, really good pace going. But nah, usually my mid game kind of like crumbles and I falter a little bit. I'm like this most inconsistent person ever that has a top time.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. All for fun.
All right. Well, yep, that is all that I have, and I will hand it over this time. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks to Speed Gaming staff. Thanks to the runners for putting on a good show. And more Fusion coming up here. Next one will be tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a 4-way race, so be sure to check that out, and we'll see you next time.
All right, see you.